Welcome to a tour of our 1979 Hatteras 58 motor yacht. It has been 6 years since we have done a tour of our yacht and a lot has changed. So we thought we'd bring you on board and show you how we made her our home on the water.
One look in your eyes and I find it. When you leave in my mind I rewind it. When you got it this good you don't fight it.
Well, welcome aboard. I am standing here on the bow of our yacht, and as you can see, it is a very, very large bow. In fact, we've had as many as 25 people sitting here watching fireworks at Penn's Landing. Now over here, we have a sunbathing platform, complete with cushions, great place to hang out. We love to lay there and just hang out during our trips to the Bahamas. We have seats here as well, which are great for coffee in the morning. And actually sunsets at night too. So we have two deck boxes, I'll show you right here. This one here we use to keep cleaning supplies. And then over on the starboard side, we keep all of our lines. In addition to the deck boxes, there's also storage underneath these seats as well. That's where we keep our spare cables. Now, if you turn around here, you'll see our windlass. Now, I did a couple episodes 2 years ago where we rebuilt this baby. We didn't rebuild the top. We put an all new motor in, all new control panel, new gearbox. But as you can see, we have not yet finished these. These don't need to be replaced, but I do want to get them re-dipped and re-chromed so they'll look a little bit better. We also have our new Mantis Anchor M2. That we put on last year, and I can tell you we absolutely love that anchor. It is just perfect for this boat. Now on each side of the windlass there are foot controls, which is very handy. I also have controls up in the helm, the lower helm and the upper helm, so I can control it too. But this gives Lynn the ability to control the anchor when we're setting anchor or pulling it up. Now on either side, the starboard and the port, we have our cables. These are run to what's called a cable master down below deck here. And this makes it very, very convenient for us to pull out our cables, run them to the pedestals, and then bring them right back in when we're done. There's one on each side. We can take two 50 amp cables at one time. We usually only need 50, which is what we're doing here. But we have the ability to do 250s and have 100 amps if necessary. Over here we have the wash down. There is a wash down for using fresh water, and there's a wash down over there for seawater or vice versa, I'm not sure. Over here we have our hatch. What's nice about this is it goes down into the forward stateroom. So if we open this up, it sends a breeze right through the boat, which is very, very nice. And I think it's undone. Yeah, so it comes right up like that, sends a breeze through, and offers extra light, and you don't feel as claustrophobic up in that stateroom when this is open as well. All our fenders out right now because we are currently in Florida and we have her tied up in case there's windstorms when we're not here. So all fenders are out, almost all the lines are deployed. That's why these are empty, but usually there's 4 fenders in them. Now over here on the starboard side, we have our steps. These are our Marquip steps. We don't have them out now because the finger piers at this marina are very narrow and this would just roll off the edge. But when we're at a wider finger pier, we put these out, makes it easier to get on and off the boat. Now I'm walking over the hose that we have set up for water, and we have it plugged into the boat right there, and we actually have a Y connector as well. That enables us to have a hose that's going in for our supply and to have a little wash down hose handy when we need it. Over here are additional electrical connections. Now we have the cable masters on the bow of the boat. This is the way it would have originally came, and we have the loose cables to hook up here as well if we should need it. But 95% of the time, 98% of the time, we're using the cable masters because it's just so much easier. We'll only pull out a cable for this if the pedestal's way behind us and we can't reach it with the cable master. So why don't you come on in? Wow, it is a windy day in Titusville. Turn a little bit of light on here. And welcome to the lower helm, or the pilot house, some people would call it. Now, I don't navigate very often from the pilot house. I prefer to be up on the fly bridge, but it is very handy when I'm doing certain things like setting an anchor or a mooring ball. Now, over here we have our Furuno plotter. We have another one upstairs. They match there exactly. These are a little bit old, maybe about 15 years old, I think. So we mostly use this for radar. We do chart with it occasionally, but mostly it's what we're using for radar right now. I have a couple of readouts here for our lithium batteries. Now up above we have a bunch of things that I don't use so much. This is a gyro track for a television system, which we just never use. This right here is a fuel management system, but it's very ancient, and I've never used this either. It does work, but I don't use it, so does that works as well. Here's our lower helm radio, which we do use occasionally. This here is a satellite radio. It works, don't know how to use it. I've never tried. I suppose if I spent a lot of time at sea, I'd get that up and going, but I don't use it right now. And this is a depth sounder. We have depth sounders all over the place. We've got one on the upper helm. We also have one that it's called a depth talker that will yell at you if you hit 5 foot of water. So this, we do use this. Now if I bring you down to the helm here, first thing I'd like to point out is that we have these electronic controls, and I love these. I've had most boats, or many boats anyway, have the shifter and the shifter and the throttles are on different sides, so you're kind of operating with two hands. This one is one-handed. It basically operates forward with speed, reverse with speed. And once you get used to this, I would never go back. I really do like it a lot. Now, of course, we have all the standard gauges, the little controls for the windshield wipers, which is nice. We have windshield wipers. On, off, we got control of the bilges right here. And one of the updates I did was I installed these gauges here for fuel. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why Hatteras had you go down below deck, lift up carpet, and look at a gauge that came out of the floor every time you had to find out how much fuel you had. And for the life of me, I don't know why for the past 40 years nobody made this upgrade, because this is something that is just so much more convenient. And let's see, what else do we have here? I do have a bow thruster right here. That's beeping because it knows it's not working because I don't have the system turned on. So let me clear that. So yeah, I do have a bow thruster here. This is just tells me which way the rudders are facing. This is obsolete, no idea what this is. A timer, I guess if you're going to be using charts. We have a stopwatch there. And let's see, down here, just a safety control panel. You know, if you're low on oil, the bilge is high, various little things that go wrong. I don't know why the red light's on. Something's faulty, some sensor I got to take a look at. And let's see here. These are the gauges for the generator. It's nice that they're up here. I can check it really quick. I don't have to go down to the generator room. For here, I think this is a distance calculator. I never use it. You have emergency on-offs. These kill the engines. And the Raycor alarms. If the Raycors could get dirty, the Raycor alarms are right here. This is a security system. I have it off right now. We have cameras. I think there's 8 of them on the boat. And they'll show up here if I turn the system on. I just happen to have it off. And to be honest with you, it's old. It's probably 10 years old, which is just a lifetime when it comes to electronics, because in addition to that, we installed the SimpliSafe cameras. There's one here, there's one over there, there's a couple on the outside of the boat, and we're probably going to put a couple more on. And we like them so much better because, well, they're higher resolution, they just have better quality, it's easier to use, the software is more up to date, so we leave this on anyway at security, but these are the ones that we usually use. Right underneath our security camera here, should aim up a little bit probably, is our internet. This is a T-Mobile home internet, which works great for us when we're in the United States. It does not work for us in the Bahamas, but anywhere that you get cell reception, you get internet. To the left, we've got a couple of handheld radios that we use occasionally. Little outside speaker when we want to listen to music. Now, we have a couple of panels here. Let me show you this one first. This is the main panel box here. Now, the top 3 are the source of electric. This would be the generator. This would be cable 1, which we have hooked up, and you can see the lights on. This would be cable 2 coming up the starboard side. Now, below that are the feeds for the actual electrical panels. There's 3 of them here. And what you do is you tell each of the main panel boxes where do you want to get the electric from. As you can see right now, I'm telling panel box 1, get it from 1. I'm telling panel box 2, get it from 1, etc. If I wanted to say, have them get their electric from the generator, I would just go over and turn it to the generator. So that's the way that works. So each of those feeds a separate panel box. 2 of them are right here. Panel 1 and panel 3. Panel 1 is mostly our 220 systems, hot water heaters, things like that. And the panel 3 is mostly our 110 systems. There is panel 2, but panel 2 is down in the engine room. So I'm not sure why they labeled them in that order, but panel 2 is in the engine room, and it is also a 220 panel. Now, if I turn you over to this side, there is one more panel box here, and this is our 32 volt system. So this is the house banks. The 32 volt banks feed this. So it has really nothing to do with what's over there. And these are just all the various things that run off 32 volts. And everything's usually on except that we turn the water pump off whenever we're not using it, because we just do not want a hose to break or something when we're not around and have that kick on. So
now we have a wind thing.
we have I don't know what you call these things. It reads the direction of the wind, and it also reads the velocity or the speed of the wind, rather. Now, this is just temperature and switches. There is air conditioning in this lower helm. Not that we really ever use it. Over here, we have a bench, of course, and our painting of Philadelphia that we picked up from a street artist in Philadelphia.
Bench storage.
Bench storage. So, storage under there for all kinds of screws and nuts and bolts and things. We have our maps for paper charting and our tools. Miscellaneous screws, parts, fasteners, things that I need there. And we have 2 drawers here, one for tapes and glues and one's for miscellaneous tools. There's also a little step out too if you want to put your feet up. Did I miss anything in here? I think that is it for the lower helm. So let me take you to the upper helm. Okay, so let me give you a quick tour of the upper helm. It's very similar to the bottom helm. We have the same type of controls here, gauges, things of that nature. We do have another Furuno up here. We run almost all our navigation off these 3 tablets. Right now we're using Navionics, we're using Aqua Maps. We're going to be giving Argo a try this year. We also have our autopilot up here. There was also one down below, I think I forgot to mention that, but that's our autopilot. We have control over our windshield wipers, very nice. Again, we have this hardtop, and I don't know how much this hardtop cost, but I heard it was a fortune. And it was installed after it left the factory, as far as I've heard, and we absolutely love having this hardtop and windshield wipers, and we can go out in all kinds of weather. Right now, we have our isinglass down. In fact, we have our bimini down as well, which is not common. Normally the bimini's up, but when we leave the boat unattended for a while and we're worried about windstorms, we take it down just as a precaution. So normally there would be a bimini out to about here, covering this whole seating area. We have enough isinglass to enclose it. In the winter, it gets kind of cozy in here. It's kind of like a greenhouse. You get a lot of sun coming in and it kind of heats it up, so it works out nice. We have seating here for, well, I guess at least 7 people. Lynn and I made this table a few years back, and it looked absolutely great until last year, and I guess it's just the salt is getting to it, and we're going to have to redo this table. It was a beautiful table. Look at a previous video, you'll find it, and I think you'll find that it looked really nice, but looks like hell right now. Now, down here we have, I'm not going to open it, but there is a grill here. Jenn-Air grill that Lynn uses quite often, actually, when we're underway. There's a refrigerator back here, storage, lots of storage underneath these benches. These are just filled with storage compartments. And if you look further back there, you'll see that we have our Boston Whaler. We have a 13-foot Boston Whaler there. I have it all wrapped up now, again, for storm, so I took the windows off and all that. So I'm not going to bother to open it. You can see pictures of it in plenty of our videos. But that's a real nice tender we have back there. There's also emergency life raft back there. And of course our davit for lowering the tender when we need to lower it. Now, as far as carpeting, we installed this just a couple of years ago, and a little bit dirty now. I think we need to clean it, but it's held up really, really well for us. And one of the latest things we've done is we've changed over the upholstery on our seats. And these were just a couple of regular seats that we bought. We took them apart and we reused the upholstery, or reused the whole seats actually, and attached it to where our old seats were. And we really like the way that turned out. Oh, and there's also the place that, well, storage, VIP room. We keep hippies back here. It's just, it goes all the way under the helm. There's not going to be a lot to see because I have a lot of things kind of cluttered up right there. We keep our spare life jackets back there, floaties, all kinds of different things, our extension cords. We have a hailer here if we want to yell at people who are in our way. Yep, and over here you can't really see it, but that's that talker, that deaf talker that yells at me when I get too shallow of water.
It literally tells you how many feet you're in.
Yeah, so we use that occasionally. Sometimes it just annoys me and I turn it off. I have windows. I've taken them off just in case there's a storm, but they're wing windows, so they push the air in. So if you're sitting back here, we can kind of direct air to the seating area, which is very nice. Okay, so we have these windows that we open up as needed. If it's cold, we keep them closed. If it's not, we open them up. And I just replaced these pistons, all three of them this year. Two of them had died, and I thought, well, it's time, let's just replace them all. I also replaced the piston on this as well. That one was getting old and not working so well. And, well, of course, we have Gumby and Mr. Bill. Okay, so let's go check out the salon. Now, I actually should say salon / galley / aft deck, because they're all combined into one big room. Now, it wouldn't have always been that way, and probably on most of the 58s you won't find it to be that way. This area here, which is the aft deck, would have been a separate room. There would have been a wall right here with a sliding glass door which separated the salon from the aft deck, and this would have been outside. There might have been some isinglass up here, but this generally would have been open to the elements. Now, I don't know whether this was done at the factory or if it was an add-on, but you can see it's all enclosed, and it's all solid glass, and we have a sliding door, and to us, it is no longer an aft deck, it is our dining room. Now, it's a nice, cozy spot. We just put some new flooring in, which we're really happy with. That's one of the recent upgrades that we made on this boat. Now, over here, we have a wet bar. There is a ice maker there, there's a sink, and that's where we keep some of our alcohol. And then back here we have a door which leads out to our swim platform. Now there is also a small little standing area along the back here which we can use for, say, fishing, or Lynn will use it to grab the lines and toss the lines, grab a piling, as you can see right there. So this is our access to the back. Now, as you've probably noticed from the outside pictures, we do not have a walk along here. Now, some of the boats, say like the Hatteras 53s, have a walk along. In fact, the 58 Yachtfish has an outside walk too. This one doesn't. Now, it's a little bit of a trade-off because it's nice to be able to run all the way from the front, all the way to the stern on the outside of the boat. We can't do that. We have to run through the salon to get to the stern. Now, the upside to that is our room is 2 to 3 feet wider on each side. Our salon is 2 to 3 feet wider because we don't have that walkway. And although it is a trade-off, I prefer that because our salon is very, very wide compared to, say, a 58 Yachtfish or a 53. The beam is 1510 to be exact. So this room is probably pretty close to 14 something wide because it goes right out to the sides. We have some furniture in here it was new looking when we bought the boat, but it's about 6 years old now and we're looking to replace it. It's white, it got a little bit worn out. One of the other upgrades that we've done is the carpet. We put some new high-end carpet in here. So now we have the floor done and the carpet. We have not gotten to the galley yet. That's another project. But we did add in that dining room table. We added in some chairs here. And as you can tell over here, we are changing out the valance. We never really liked this I don't know, reindeer ear. I guess it's coral. We never really liked it. We didn't think it really goes with our type of decor, so we are looking to use the material that we've put on the chairs to match, kind of bring everything together. So that's the plan there. Now here's the galley. When we got this boat, one of the very first projects Lynn and I did was take down a wall that used to be right here, and they had a TV on it. Now, we don't watch a whole lot of TV on the boat, in fact, almost never. But what it did was it separated the galley from the room, and Lynn loves to cook, and she likes to be part of the group as well. So for her to be cooking and be behind a wall just didn't make any sense to us, so we took the wall down, and Lynn and I built this countertop. This is a piece of elm. It was just raw wood, which we finished with, I guess it's epoxy. And Lynn put little special colored sands in the cracks and all that, and then we mounted it to this original counter. And we love this. This is where we eat most of the time. It's often where we entertain. So it was one of the first things we did, and it was one of the best things we've done. As far as the rest of the galley, you can see we have a ton of cabinetry. There are cabinets here. I mean, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cabinets, 4 drawers, and that doesn't even count this side. And this all works out really well because Lynn she's got a bread maker on here. She's got a panini maker on here. She has a Cuisinart on here. She's got a toaster on here. So we need all the cabinets we can get. Now, as far as appliances though, we have, well, here's a microwave. It's a convection microwave, which is nice, but you know, cooking with convection microwaves is not really ideal. So what Lynn did is she put in one of these, I think it's a portable oven. She uses that almost all the time when she's cooking.
Air fryer.
Air fryer, that's what that is? Okay.
Air fryer oven.
And she liked it so much we actually have one at home now at our Philadelphia house. And then of course here we have the espresso machine, which gets used several times a day, every day. In fact, she likes this so much, we now have one at home in our kitchen. Now we have a regular electric burner here, which we do not like, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to induction. Just another project for the future because it's going to use less electricity, and that's been one of our main goals in this boat is to reduce our usage of electricity. Now, as far as refrigeration, we have these drawer refrigerators. This is a refrigerator, this is a freezer. They're, you know, I don't really like drawer refrigerators. However, what I do like is the counter space that they give us. And since counter space is a premium on this boat, it's worth the trade-off. So without that, we wouldn't have this cabinet, we wouldn't have this counter space, we'd have to put these, I don't even know where we'd put them. So even though I don't really prefer it, I wouldn't change it. Over here is our beverage refrigerator. And that's just where we throw all our sodas, our beers, and our milks, and our drinks, and occasionally a little bit of food. So that gets used quite often. Now, what else can I tell you about this gal? Yeah, we do have a garbage disposal. It's a noisy garbage disposal, but we have one. Now, another upgrade we did over here was, if you look at most boats have these type of trash cans, you know, where you pull up a little bit of the counter and you throw your trash down there, and we hate that.
Good if you're a weekend warrior.
Yeah, it is. It's just the trash cans are so small, it's a pain in the neck. So what I did was I gave up this one cabinet here, and I installed a trash can that moves in and out. And I mean, it's just a little thing, but no, that was one of the better things I've done on this boat. Okay, over on this side of the galley, we have more cabinetry. This is where we keep our stemware. We have our
What we have left.
what we have left. We gotta go buy some more. We have our radio here. We have a Fusion radio. Also behind here, I have another amplifier because what we're doing is we're sending out this radio to every stateroom, the flybridge, 2 sets in this salon here. So we had to install more amplification to do that. So that's all back behind here. Got another little storage area here for sodas. And over here is our liquor cabinet, one of our liquor cabinets. This is 2 of 3. And you can see we put a little latch on that. That's because one day some jerk in a sport fisher flew past us, threw a 9-foot wake right at our beam. This was not locked. We lost all our liquor.
We didn't have that on yet. Rachel
No.
put that on.
Yeah, so after that happened, we're like, we're not losing our liquor again. We might lose our stemware, but we're not losing our liquor, so this thing is locked. Okay, now, now one other thing we have here in the galley as well as in the salon, we have these shades. These were on the boat when we got here. This is not a new thing, but I like them a lot because you can just go right in the middle and they go up evenly. So we have them all around the boat, which is very handy when you have too much sun and you're in the Bahamas. You want me to pull this down?
It also comes.
Oh yeah, you can do that if you'd like to. Not that we do that much, but it is interesting. So I think I've covered the salon. Why don't we go and check out forward?
One more cabinet you forgot.
What's that? Where did I forget? Oh, yeah.
All the way in this corner by the bar, and it's where I keep all my serving trays and stuff that I don't want broken.
Mm-hmm.
And that's behind the bar.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered this area. Why don't we go check out the forward cabin? Okay. Now down here, what we have is the sun's in my eyes. Forward cabin right here. Now, Lynn has taken all of the cabins and given them names. If you look closely here, it says Pirate's Den. So we're going to go into the Pirate's Den right now. Now, what this would have been, it's the forward cabin, but originally this forward area was actually meant for crew. Because if you go back to 1979, the era before these mega 150-foot, 200-foot yachts, a 65-foot yacht like this would have been considered very big. And it would have been for very wealthy people who hired a crew to take them around. So this would have been the crew's cabin. This would have been a settee. Now, somebody before me turned this into an office. And as you can see, I use it as an editing station. Okay, well, we have a few steps down here to the forward bunks. So you can see it's 2 bunk beds here. Lots of cabinetry. We've got 4 drawers there, 2 bigger drawers here, little storage space. Now over here, what we have, is the chain locker, and it also happens to be the locker for our cable masters. And that's also where the windlass is. If you saw the episodes where I had to replace the windlass, that's where I spent most of my weekends. We do have a couple of port windows on each side. Over here, they are covered by, well, our pirate flag. And now over in this area here, of course, there is a head. Now the head, it's a full head, has its own single person shower. You know, some shelves, some cabinetry underneath. It has the original galley-made toilet here, which works perfectly. That one we have never had a problem with. And it was remodeled by the previous owners, and so they're the ones who put in this stone rock-looking sink and all that, and we're happy with this, so we're going to leave it the way it is. So over here we have a nice hanging locker, a decent amount of room in there, and there's even some storage under these steps. So lots of storage in this place. Now when I come up here, you'll see we have the laundry. And this is an original washer dryer unit from 1979. It's noisy and probably not very efficient, but it works just perfectly fine. And until it breaks, we are going to leave this thing right here where it is, because it is a pain in the neck to get in and out. But one of these days it's going to have to go. And as you can see, Lynn also uses my office area to hang dripping wet clothes. I don't know. What could go wrong? It's just over my computer. We got a nice light in here. This is our third liquor cabinet. So as you can see, we actually do have 3. And then on this side, it's just some storage for just some miscellaneous things, paints, solvents, things like that we had no place else to put, so we put them here. So if you come around the corner here, we have the rum locker. Now the rum locker is another stateroom. It's not a very large stateroom, has crisscross beds here, as you can see. Nice window though. Separate air conditioning, so that's always really nice. We tend to use this as storage because it's very rare for us to have more than 2 couples on the boat with us. In fact, it's usually just us and another couple. So we do use this mostly for storage, and you can see water, and there's a big cabinet here that I kind of keep tools and things in. And over here have another head. Now it's a small head. It doesn't have its own shower. It has one of those showers connected to the wall, and I guess there was a curtain that went around at one time. Not sure, but we never ever use this as a shower. It's perfectly well and it functions, but it's just, you know, well, we have better showers on board, so we don't use this one.
We still have the original curtain. It's,
Oh, do we?
It's stored on.
Okay, yeah, so right now we're just using it for storing our portable air conditioner and power washer. And so also in the rum locker, there is a hatch here, and this takes us down to the generator room. Let me climb down there real quick and turn a light on. It's just a small area that contains the generator right here. Yeah, you can hand that to me and I'll just bring it down. Okay, so here's our generator, and our inverter system is here with all the different cables and wires, and well, you can't see them right now, but back under those cases are our lithium batteries. Over to this side, we just have a couple of Raycors for our transfer tank, and that's the bow thruster controls, and the Raycor for the generator. That's really about it, a bunch of plumbing. So if you follow me downstairs here, we have 2 engine rooms here on this yacht. There's 2 8V92 engines, starboard and port. They're both basically identical, so let me show you the port engine. And here, I'll go in. It might be a little bit easier for me to show it to you if I climb in here. And so this is an 8V92 Detroit diesel. And it's a great engine. This engine starts right up, doesn't blow any smoke, it's beautiful. It is twin turboed, and we've never had a problem whatsoever, not even with the turbos. Starboard, we had to do some work on the turbos, never had any issue whatsoever on this engine. Now over here is a water maker, which we have never used. It works fine, but the cost of operating it is significantly more than it is for us to just store up on 5-gallon jugs of water and take them with us to the Bahamas.
Because the membranes are so expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive and they got to be replaced periodically. Now, if we lived aboard in the Bahamas or something, this would be key. But since we only spend maybe 2 months, that's fine. And we just buy water when we need it for showering and things like that, and we take drinking water with us.
That's pickled too.
Now, one of the other upgrades we did was I changed out, there was a giant pump here, galley-made pump for our water system, which I replaced with this little tiny, I don't even know who makes it, pump, and it works perfectly well, not a problem at all, and it freed up a lot of real estate. I'm not bumping into things anymore. This is just a pressure for our Hynotic steering system. We have 2 of our air conditioners over here. They are Cruise air conditioners. There's 2 here, there's 4 in the other room. And in the back wall right there, you can see that's our stabilizer unit. We have Naiad stabilizers on this boat, which we absolutely love. And then, so right underneath there, you can see is the Micro Commander, which is the control unit for our shifter and our throttle control. And that's why we had a little bit of a problem with this year. It wasn't actually a problem with that, it was a problem with the transmission being a little jammed. And what we have over here is I guess it's the holding tank for our air compressor. The compressor is actually hooked up to our starboard engine, and it fills that with air, which operates our horns and gives us the ability to have compressed air. To the side of it here, Vanna shows us that it is the 32-volt breakers for some of our systems. We have another 32-volt panel upstairs, but this is one of them. So what we have over here is the switch box for our electrical systems. We turn on the electric that goes to the engines there, and also the house banks, the 32-volt house bank switch is over there too. Right there we have the on switch for the Micro Commander. And let's see, a little bit to the side here is our fire suppression system. Let me hand this back to Vanna over there. And this is just a pressure tank for the water system. We really don't need it because of the new type of pumps. They don't need these type of things. But we use it anyway. It doesn't hurt to have it. So, water filtration system right here. Big, massive one. And down here we have our breakers. Okay, and there's one last thing that I can show you here, and that is our galvanic isolator. Right up top, Lynn, you see the gray box? Yes, that tells us whether or not our zincs are going. Yep, go ahead, you push the button and see what happens there. It's giving a reading of what?
6.6.
Okay, let's hope 0.6 is good. There's actually a chart on it. Our zincs are replaced regularly, so I'm sure it's good.
Yes, we use Premier.
Yes, we pay divers to come out and check everything once a month here. So you can take that. And that is it for this engine room. I won't bother to show you the other one. It's basically the flip side of this with just a little less things in it, like no air compressor and no water maker. Okay, so if you follow me a little bit further down the hallway past the engine rooms, we end up at the mermaid's quarters, which is sort of the VIP stateroom, I guess you could say. It's again two single beds, cabinetry up above, drawers here, so there's lots of storage. Has a couple of porthole windows. You even got some storage here. Right, well, that's where we have to keep our starfish. There is an ancient television here, which I've never even tried to turn on.
VCR.
Yeah, no, I think it's a DVD player underneath. Yep, whatever. I've never turned it on, but then again, we don't use this room. Maybe our guests have. But this is generally where we do send our guests. It's the most comfy room. And this stateroom also has a large hanging locker, which we are currently using just to keep life vests in. Usually we distribute them to each room once we're underway. Plus we keep a whole bunch up on the flybridge. Okay, so across the hall is the head for this room. It's also the common head that most people use, since it's the only one that's not actually in a stateroom. Now it does have its own shower. As you can see, it's a one-person shower, or two if you want to be cozy. There's a seat here. Now Lynn has decorated it with mermaid stuff and to keep the theme going. Now this head was remodeled by the previous owners. All we've really done is add this sticker. They did this nice bowl here, which we like a lot, and put the Korean counters in, stone floor. Only thing we've really done is we did replace the head. This did have a galley maid head, which was always acting up. And we have heard many of the Hatteras boats' midship heads act up for the galley maid. So we replaced this with a Raritan Elegance. And we are very, very happy with it. Had no problems whatsoever, always works perfectly. Okay, so if you follow me further down the hallway, we'll be at the captain's quarters, which is the master cabin. And well, here she is. I think one of the things I love most about the cabin, well, it's huge, right? We're a full beam cabin. I love the fact that it has a queen size bed as opposed to some of the old Hatterases which had separated twin beds, like you were on the Dick Van Dyke Show or the Flintstones or something. But we do have the queen size bed here. Now the previous owners put this headboard on. It's some rattan or wicker or something, and we do like that, so we left that. In fact, we haven't done a whole lot of upgrading in this room yet. We plan to. Right now we are changing out the valances, and you can see on this side here I have one of them off, and we're going to recover them and put them back up.
That's where the leak was.
Yeah, that's where the leak was. So I took it down to check for the leak, and now we may as well recover it. And we've been meaning to do that anyway, because these pillows and the valance, that's all from who knows who, that's old stuff. So one of the nice things about this cabin is the storage space. This is Lynn's side, and she has 4 full drawers here, some space to store underneath where our exhaust runs. She has a nightstand with 4 smaller drawers, and over here she has a complete vanity with another 8 drawers, and these things even open up. Whoop. It's storage behind there too, so there's a ton of storage. And behind me is the closet, which is a large closet. I can't really show you here, but also the water heater is back there in the corner. And we also upgraded the air conditioning in this cabin. This here was where the air handler was behind this wall for the split system, what do we have, cruise airs. The compressor died, and I didn't want to replace the compressor on a 40-year-old air conditioner, so what I did is I got one of the new systems. I don't remember the name of the brand. Maybe it's Dometic. I can't really remember. But it's a self-contained unit now. And the nice thing about the new self-contained units are they're very quiet. In fact, even though the compressor's back here and the air handler now, it's quieter than it was when we just had an air handler here. And the unit is small enough that it fit in the same spot. So we're thrilled with that upgrade.
Super cold.
Super, 16,000 BTU, whatever it is. And it freezes this room up. Now over here, well, we have a TV. I think I mentioned we hardly ever watch a TV, but we do have one in case we feel like it. And over here, we have the master head. And as you can see, it is a very nice size head. It's the only one that we haven't remodeled yet. You can see that we're thinking about putting these new tiles up on the counter. Hey, let us know what you think. We think they look pretty cool. It has the original galley-made head there, which we are replacing. In fact, we bought the new one already. I just haven't installed it. And there's a decent amount of storage. We got some storage back here, and the medicine cabinet here, and a couple of others down below. So there's a lot of space here. Has its own port light. So over here we have the shower slash bathtub. And as you can see, there's a full-size bathtub in here, which Lynn loves. I don't use it hardly at all, or if ever, but she loves to soak in here. And it's a huge shower. You can fit easily 4 people in here. Ask me how I know. There is a port light here, and well, I guess that's it. It's a shower, but it's nice to have something this size on a boat. You usually don't see this. So we even invite our guests, use this shower. Don't worry about the other single ones. Okay, well, I think that's about it for the master cabin.
Oh, you forgot one thing.
Oh, what's that?
Additional storage.
Oh, yep. You know what? Yeah, there's 2 big drawers here. And not only do we have 2 big drawers, if we lift up this mattress, there's a hatch here, and there is a ton of storage underneath this mattress. In fact, we have 2 spare propellers down there, a spare shaft down there. We have all the isinglass from up on the fly bridges all rolled up and put down there, and just a bunch of other miscellaneous parts, air conditioning parts and all. It's just a ton of room. So that is a nice thing. Although it is a little bit of a pain to get to because you have to lift the whole mattress up. But so we put things down there that we don't use very often, like spare propellers.
And in the center here is the water tank.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, back here there's access to there's 2 water tanks on this boat. There's one back here, and there's one in the middle of the boat in the keel. And we can access that here. And also you can access the rudders. If you need to repack the rudders or something, you do that. It's not easy, but that's how you get to it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to go yoga.
Some nice light comes in. I didn't tint those. I guess somebody else did just for privacy reasons. But they're the type of windows that you can kick them out. If, there's a flood, you need to get out of the boat. That's an emergency escape as well.
Never want to know.
Yeah, we want hopefully we won't find out how hard it is to kick them in. Well, we hope you enjoyed the tour of our boat. If we missed anything or you have any questions, let us know in the comments section. And be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell.